order, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Please take your seats. Roll call, please.
Iser.
Here.
Reichner. Here. Brochus.
Here.
Barnhart. Here. Martina.
Here.
An executive session was held on August 31st and today, September 11th, to discuss personnel. Is there any public comment on agenda items at this time? Please state your name, sir.
Bob, you have on here in your agenda, Shikellamy School District MOU. Is that pertaining to the $27,000 tax issue?
No, that's referring to the agreement between the school district and the city for the purpose of salt usage during the winter time.
So the tax issue won't come up tonight, then?
That's over and done with.
When did that occur? Didn't
Last
come
meeting. Yes, it did.
The check's been sent.
Check's been sent. Any other, Mr. Pope, is that everything? I'm sorry, sir. Is that everything? Anything else?
Yes, if the tax issue is dead.
We can make
What was the, what was the,
ask it.
are they gonna pay the tax?
Yes, they said they sent it. They said they sent the check.
Just
Yeah.
Sunbury.
Yeah.
Just Sunbury?
Well, it was the fees for that the city, for their calculations, yes. They sent the ones for the city of Sunbury, correct,
Because
yes.
there's about 5 municipalities in
Not,
there.
but the stadium is being renovated in the city of Sunbury, therefore it's just the city of Sunbury for those fees, no other municipalities, just the city of Sunbury. But they do collect taxes from the other one, but just the city of Sunbury, that check has been sent.
That wasn't done in public session.
Yes, it was, yes, it was attempted to vote upon last meeting, and the check has been sent. Any other questions, Mr. Bub, or comments?
Sunbury's got to pay them.
Well, we received the check. All right, any other public comment at this time? Any other public comment? Yes, sir.
Jeremy Cogburn, I have a couple of questions.
Is this on the agenda item, sir?
Good.
That's what we're,
And it's towards the
all right. Sorry, I rushed the boat there. Any other public comment on the agenda items? All right, moving on here. Make the motion for approval of the minutes and reports, minutes from August 14th and 28th, then reports from the fire department, police department, treasurer, controller, code office, health department, and planning commission. Do I have a second?
Reichner.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Iser.
Yes.
All right, moving on to old business, Councilman Barnhart.
I make a motion to give an extension. It's the second extension request for McDonald's. Mr. Rhodes, would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, it's just, we're following the Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code, which requires 90-day review for any projects, for any reviews of projects. The time frame is running out on that, and they're requesting another 90-day extension for the further review. So that's what that was about.
So I'll second his motion. All right, sorry, John, make that motion again, please.
I make a motion for the second time frame extension request for McDonald's.
Second.
Martina.
Yes.
Iser.
Yes.
Reichner.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Keep going, Councilman Barnhart.
I make a motion for a time frame extension for a drive subdivision for 316, 322 North 12th Street in Sunbury to meet requirements for the zoning hearing board.
Second. Oh, sorry.
Oh, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, this request is just a just-in-case request. Currently, we're working on a cross-easement agreement with Drive on the subdivision that we just did, along with, now we're working on another subdivision and the Kiwanis Playground, so there's enough parking for all entities up there that's gonna take care
That's
of.
the hospital.
That's the hospital project, yes.
All right, I second motion.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister. Brochus.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Reichner. Yes. Sorry.
That's all right.
Thanks, Rick.
New business, we just want to update the eligibility list for hiring of police officers that recently just ran out. We want to make sure we have candidates who are willing and able to come on, or who are interested in becoming police officers in the city of Sunbury. It doesn't really need a vote, but I'll just put up for vote so everyone's on the same page. So I make the motion to update the eligibility list. Do I have a second?
Second.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister. Yes. Reichner.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes. Councilwoman Martina?
I just need a motion to accept the Sunbury route again. There is no changes that I'm aware of for the route.
I second. Councilwoman.
Reichner.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister. Yes.
Keep going, Councilwoman Martina.
In your package, you do have a copy of the MOU, which is the memorandum of understanding, the agreement for the Chickaloomy School District and the SALT for this coming winter. So I am just asking for a motion to pass this additional agreement. It's not an additional agreement, it's an annual agreement.
Second.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister. Yes. Reichner.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes. Councilman Reichner?
Okay, we have debts of $23,775.02 from the general fund, $803.25 from liquid fuels, $6,816.20 from private grants, and payroll of $62,386.10. I make a motion to pay those bills.
Second.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister.
Yes.
Reichner.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes. All right, moving on, discussion items. There's been some people brought up to me, I just want to bring up to council, or however you want to word it, about, events and facilities and rental fees. One person brought up about the riverfront. They said there's an organization last week that had a event down by the river. I think it was Fire and Water, or whatever it's called. It was a success. And they said, hey, they had to pay their rental fees. They just want to make sure that everyone else who from their point on, is paying the rental fees to use our facility. So,
Mr. Mayor, would you like to charge, there's a church, I think, calling something there?
no, they said, I would say no, that the organization did pay the fee. They were just asking, is everybody being obligated to pay the fee that they had to pay? That's what they're asking.
You're saying everybody help me out.
I don't know, I just know, the one that they brought out was, I'm not pointing anyone out, did SRI, are they paying their fee for the Wine and Brew Fest this weekend? That's the one that they pointed out, like, I don't know.
Well, they didn't pass, if you want to charge them.
I'm not asking, I'm just, the person wanted me to ask, and that's all I'm asking, so.
Was this event last weekend, was it a private event?
No, it was open to the public.
No, like, the events that Vicky runs, do we charge you to run them, Vicky? What I'm saying, we don't.
If it's Life Fest, I run Life Fest events in Cameron Park. So that's a city event.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
If I did, when we did the Pride Festival last year, that was open to the public, and honestly, I don't remember. Because we did, my understanding was that if you use the amphitheater, like say somebody wants to have a wedding, my
Yeah.
understanding is that's a rental, right?
That's right.
But if we use the riverfront, just not the amphitheater, that was open to the public. So we had insurance for that, but I don't think we paid a fee to,
Any organization in the city, anything like that, we've been kind of, it's like, and type of thing, but someone wants to put here and do something for profit or for a benefit of their private setup, then I think we
Okay, like I said, I was just asked about it and asked to ask about it, so that's all I'm
the
doing,
event
so.
Saturday was a local artist and Peterson, and it was open to the public. So it was like a water ceremony.
Yeah.
You know, with the river and all that stuff. So, again, was open to the public, but it was technically,
It wasn't a public event.
it wasn't.
It was a
event.
public
Yeah, I mean, a public event, but it wasn't a,
It wasn't an organization,
An
it wasn't, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they have a 501c3, I just know it was a local artist, two artists that brought that together, so. So I guess that you guys will have to come
So
up
it's
with,
a non-profit.
yeah.
I mean, it's whatever we decide, but it's one of those things that has to be uniform across the board, because people are asking, oh, am I exempt, or am I not exempt, or when is it okay, when is it not okay? Because I think because they said there are fees that are listed, they're like, well, do I need to pay the fees, do I not have to pay the fees? So that's what I was asking.
Well, Mr. Mayor, only people I know, like Vicki mentioned, or, Rick, if you have a wedding down there, it's a private event. To my knowledge, you were never charged for anything.
No,
So, at SRI, we've been working with SRI for years, and
So you're saying if it's a public event, there's no charge, but if it's a private event, there is?
no, if it's an organization, it's an organization within the city.
SRI was never charged. Mr. Schreck,
Yes.
you were never charged for anything SRI, were you?
No, no.
So organization within the city that's a public event, there's no fee.
Because it's here to benefit the city.
So it's a city organization.
What they're raising comes back into the city.
No, I'm not disagreeing, I'm just saying, because people are asking questions when it applies, so
If that artist had that event to sell his wares, then
no, there was nothing for sale. There was
Excuse me,
no
but-
fee to attend it, there was nothing for sale. It was just a ceremony.
for the public to attend
For
for,
the river and the sun and moon and stars and all that good stuff. So I think, I mean, throw my 2 cents in there, I guess there just has to be, like, if it's a wedding, so let's say hypothetically, I wanna do an event because, I don't know, I wanna have a private family event there. Then that's something, but,
Yeah.
you know, or the weddings or whatever, because even if you do kites and gardens, you still have a fee for the wedding down
So
there.
like a wedding or family reunion or something like
Yeah,
that.
so you guys.
So basically, if it's a private event.
Yeah,
Well, Josh, I know there's weddings, time to time you want to marry somebody, you can't work. We don't want to charge for it.
I never came to park, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Well, we have did weddings,
Yeah,
there's been weddings,
yeah,
can't work, we never charge. Now, if you take the amphitheater over, having an event, it's.
yeah.
But, you and your future girlfriend might want to walk her and get slow charge.
I'll make sure I tell her that.
Can I interject real quick? Vicki, my understanding from what you just said, and just make sure I'm clear. A private entity had a performance at the riverfront, not to raise money, but for the purpose of the performance itself. Is that correct? And for whoever wanted to go in the city of Sunbury, that was open.
Yeah, it was a ceremony of, yeah, it wasn't, yeah. So
Okay.
it was open to the public, there was no ticket fees, there was nothing being sold there. They were actually giving food, you know, they fed the people there and all that.
When you said artist, I just assumed it was a performance or something.
No, no, no,
Okay.
it was their art, like, you know.
I understand.
nature,
And how much did we pay?
The rental fee is $250. Doesn't there what they paid
we did pay that.
to the city.
That's what I was gonna say, if they would've charged the
Yeah,
people,
yeah, go ahead,
if
Bruce.
they would've charged the people to get in the event, yeah, then there should be a fee, but I don't think they're charged.
Okay,
Well,
so
they would paint flags.
he said if they're charging, if they should be charged, but if it's free, they shouldn't have to pay it.
Yeah, the problem with that is that there's no liability there. If somebody got hurt, somebody's getting sued.
You have to have insurance.
Well, they have to have insurance, I'm sure they provided insurance
Yeah.
on, you know, even when it's Life Fest, the city puts Life Fest on the insurance binder, you know, that when we're in Cameron Park. If I do Rotary, anything like that, I did a private event in Cameron Park, and I provided insurance for that private event, but again, I was not charged,
Yeah.
because it was open to the public, so.
So maybe we need to be a little more, go ahead.
I just have a suggestion that since it involves the parks, that Parks and Rec come up with
Fee?
Policy?
thank you, for a policy that, and present it to council for approval, and then just go from that, for what is charged, what's not charged. And unfortunately, since something like this has already happened, that we just look at it and review it and see what we can come up with.
That works. Policy. and then just moving on, oh, sorry, any other questions on that, sorry. All right, then moving on to City Hall upgrades, I know I emailed Councilman Ister, have you heard back from the architect about the drawings of the internal?
He's out of town for next week, he'll be in town, we'll call him as soon as he gets back, and we'll set it up again.
You the man. Any other question, anyone on that one? All right, so moving on, there are some announcements. Employee flu clinic is October 10th from 9 to 12 here at the City Hall at the first floor conference room. Contact Jeff for more information. It is also open to the public and you must be registered by September 30th. Our first budget meeting, which was advertised, will be held here at City Hall on September 25th, starting at 5 p.m. And then that will be followed by our normal council meeting, starting at 6:15 p.m. on the 25th. Now at this time, is there any public comment?
Yes.
Please state your name, sir.
Jeremy Cochran. I have a couple of questions, just real simple. Mr. Barnhart, how are you making out with the pole light?
Waiting for PP&L, that takes a while, that don't have, like I explained to you, that don't happen overnight, it took,
You said it could be a couple of months.
it could be a couple months till PP&L gets back, but we're short-handed in the code office right now, so we're trying to get it through as it comes, but we are working on it.
Another
First
question.
question, is that the one, John, you had mentioned about putting another light on?
Yeah, in back of, yeah, I don't have the address in front of me.
It's,
Champ Avenue.
Champ Avenue.
Yeah, it's in back.
We have the phone number.
I gave,
I gave
PBO has
that.
all that information.
Just time.
Now, the other question I have, concern, for the brush down at Ceiling House, it's only open 7:30 to noon on Saturdays. Is there any chance of having it open 4 days or 4 hours?
I can talk to Steve, unfortunately, he's not able to be here today, but we can sit down and I can ask him how that works and how he can make adjustments, or if we can make
And
adjustments
if
to
it's
that
a
time.
holiday weekend, they're not open. Memorial Day, 4th of July, or I've gone up there already when we had showers and they were out. You can go 24/7 to Sealands Groves. There's no person in there, no staff, no focus on it. They have you can't find a cigarette butt as far as litter. And it's open, like I said, it's open 24/7. Why do we only have 4.5 hours?
What happened in the past, maybe Councilman Ister can verify this, when it was up at the old location by Biters,
Many years ago.
people were dropping off anything and everything, and a few times people were dumping their ashes and caught the brush pile on fire,
I understand that.
and that's why.
Why does that not happen at Sealands Grove?
I can't answer that question, but it has happened here, and out of the safety of, obviously, the citizens, of the residents up there, we just can't do it. Plus, running those things through our machinery, people, try to put more in there than just a brush, and that damages the machine as well. So that's why
I have another answer.
a few ruin it for everybody at times.
Yeah, I have another answer too. We don't own it. We don't own Celotex. The city doesn't own it. So we're only allowed to do what the county says we can't do. My understanding is it has to be manned for them to allow the public to enter it because of liability. I'm just,
Totally different. I don't know.
and maybe they own their own property. I don't know where it is.
And we are looking for our own site that we own the property, number one. Number two, the reason on holidays, time and a half, the city's a big for the employee. Go back to the trash.
Why do we have to sign in?
Just so because it's supposed to be for city residents and not for contractors, because in the past, we'll say contractors were doing jobs for people out of town and they had no place to dump it on their property, they were bringing it into the city, making it the city responsibility. That's why we want to make sure that you're a city resident, and that's the whole purpose, because we had people in the past coming, let's say they're doing a job out on 61, the property owner wanted the brush removed. Okay, hey, I'll wait till Saturday, bring it into Sunbury, dump it off there, it'd be their problem when, they got paid to remove it while then it's costing us to remove their stuff.
There possible. If you're gonna do a job like during the week, and you're gonna have 2 truckloads of brush, you can't call down to the office. They'll make provisions to have the gate open, so you can go in there before lunch and after lunch, set your time up, then open back and lock the gate up. So they'll work with you, but Saturdays, of course, is the time, and holidays, it's just the cost doesn't really.
Yeah, and also, like I said, at the same time, we do have the brush pickup also on Tuesdays. Like you said, you could call down, say, hey, I have brush here at my address, and they come by and pick it up for you also. So there's other options if you can't make it on the Saturday. So like I said, we try to be as accommodating as we can. It's just, you know, we just try to work with everybody. Any other thing, gentlemen? All right. Please state your name, sir.
My name's Craig Fetterman. I'm from Cole Township. I'm a candidate for Northumberland County Commissioner. Be very sensitive to your time. Just wanted to introduce myself. And you are 100% correct about contractors dumping. The same thing happened to us when we had a limit. It was just an excessive baggage there. Again, I'm a candidate for Northumberland County Commissioner. I've been married for 46 years. I have 3 children, all live in Northumberland County, and I'm a lifelong...
Sorry, Craig, I'm sorry. With all due respect, we can't allow you to campaign here at the meeting.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just the rule we need to follow, so.
All right, I wasn't aware of your
Yeah,
rule.
I'm sorry about that.
But I did hear Jeff talk extensively about blight. We have an issue, Jeff, that we use called conservatorship. I don't know if you've ever looked into that. It's very effective, and if you ever want any information on it, call me. And it works really, really well.
Yeah, Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Barnhart, they're both here, they're the code office, but thank you.
Yeah, if you ever want any information on it, it's a great way. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment at this time? Please state your name, sir.
Dave Whitman, and Sunbury, Sunbury. I want to compliment codes on getting some of the grass taken care of in the 5th Ward. I've noticed it's a whole lot better. Next thing, I want to know how we're coming along with streetlights on Front Street.
Pretty good, Mr. Vogel. We have walls. We also have 2 of the sockets coming in, should be this week.
Okay.
I'll start putting them in.
Well, we have, there's another issue. You have the posters up there, flags, whatever you call it. You can't see them anyway. But the other trees are so damn high, you can't see them.
Do you want us to take the trees down?
I don't know what you need to do. I'm just saying, you're charging people to put these up there, to use it, carry it. Too high up, the trees, a lot. Just a comment on that, maybe it's something you can do with that.
Well, the solution to that one will take us.
Oh, I got a solution, but you want to hear that one? And another thing, no being on the street sweeper. Have you heard anything at all on the street sweeper?
Yes, actually, I just got an email on that because they are parts coming in to fix it. It is being fixed again. We have been looking into some other options and what we can do when we get it back in. But as of right now, the street sweeper is still down.
So we probably won't have the street swept anymore this year.
I cannot say for certain, but it does not look that way.
Do we have to continue to move our vehicles?
Yes.
You still have to continue that. That's, like I said, that's a no parking ordinance, not a street sweeper ordinance. So that the no parking ordinance, that is for if street maintenance has to be done through either UGI, PP&L, the municipal authority, they know at these dates and times that the streets will be cleared of vehicles. That's why that's still being enforced.
So that applies to everyone?
Correct. Yes.
Regardless if they're working at a residence? Or
You mean as a contractor?
Not a contractor, but if somebody is like, providing medication or something.
As of right now, yes. I mean, unless there's, there's circumstances.
They have off-street parking available.
Yeah, like I said, there's certain circumstances, like I said, I can't put a blanket statement saying, all right, this is the exception. If someone does get a ticket like that, they can always talk to the individual who gave them the ticket to hear what the circumstances was, because there's always an exception to the rule where, there was an emergency, something happened. So, but out of the blanket statement, yes, it's still being enforced for everyone.
Because there's gonna be people that are gonna come back and say, well, we work from home.
Yeah, but that's not an exception.
I work from home, and I use my car faithfully every Wednesday.
Yeah.
I really know about 10th Street Bridge, we can't bring that up.
At the end of, they did come up with the, they found the issue was a computer problem, they, at the end of August, but the parts at that point were a minimum of 5 weeks out, so yes.
There's no trespassing signs up, we don't have Dave on the Dave don't on the bridge with him. Some city dump property, don't maintain them like it lives over there.
I do not
They
have
do on the city, like Microsoft, should maintain that, cut it.
I did talk to Steve about it.
They don't have them all on.
No, for a new one.
These signs up
Yes,
as well.
no, we
You gotta
have
have a
been,
gate
Steve
wall,
and I
just
have
to
been
watch
looking at
the
some
gate.
options, and we have been talking on what our future,
I know somewhere.
or it's gonna be, but it is at
Yeah,
a
somebody
larger
brought it up
cost.
last week.
They ain't gonna bring it up.
We're looking at some options and talking about some different ways of how to go around
Is
it.
it fishing the creek now?
It has been happening for the last
It's in bass. It's in bass, mini down.
Please state your name, sir, I'm sorry.
No, all our life go down to
Concerned about
some shit.
building
Long time ago,
in
when
my
kids.
neighborhood, Reagan
I
and
fishing on
Champ
the bridge
Avenue.
with his son, right?
It's been vacant for a number of years. I've looked at it since I've been there. It's uninhabitable. There are windows missing, gutters going in, you're missing windows. Critters living in the basement, critters upstairs on the 3rd floor. What constitutes an eyesore?
What's the address?
927 Reagan. It's on the corner of Champ Avenue and Reagan Street.
Do you want that?
And I guess it's listed as a nuisance property.
We're on that.
Well, I hope so.
All due respect, I talked to this gentleman a little bit before meeting. I explained to him that I just met the new owner. Again,
He keeps getting sold
Florida.
over and over and over, and nothing changes.
from Florida. So they were in and inquired about permits and zonings and all kinds of information. I know what the gentleman's talking about, and it has been for a long time. It is turned over to the redevelopment authority. So it's in their hands. We accomplished what we need to do in the code office for redevelopment. So I'm not sure, but we do at the code office. I assured this gentleman here in the code office that we will continue to make it as good as we can make it until action is done through redevelopment through the North Wayne County Courts.
It should be torn down, it's flat. That's what it should be.
I'll double check, but I think that might be on the blighted property list as well. I'll double check that for you. That might be on our blighted property list. It is on blight, thank you. So it's also on the blight list as well, so there's.
Okay, so what happens then?
So,
How long is it on this list?
well, it went through, since it was sold, the courts are gonna give them a grace period because they have to have time to fix things if it just went to a new owner. So there is a certain process that we have to follow, and we have to give them some time. But that does not mean that they get an exponential amount of time. They do have to come in the code office and come up with a plan of action, thank you, to rectify whatever the issues may be, and they are held to that standard. If they are not, then they're back in this situation where it could end up going to the courts, and if council so chooses, or the redevelopment authority, whoever it may be at that point, could choose to go through eminent domain. That is a longer process, it does take time, we obviously prefer not to go through that route, but that is an option, and that does happen on the back end every now and then.
It does not we're not making a partnership with the city of Anderson. This does not qualify as a partner.
I honestly don't know.
No, it's a single house.
It was a single house, it was a single house, so okay, yes, then no.
I started dating my wife in 2005. And that building has been the same, basically the same since I started dating her in October of 2005. I see skunks that come out of it at nighttime.
So like I said, the code office is on it, it's on the both the list, so like I said, just keep contacting the code office to see what the progress is, and we'll do the best we can. Like I said, we're at the hands of what we can do.
When you walk in the building and you look inside, it's like a hurricane.
I'm not gonna disagree.
The amount of money that would have to be spent by the owner.
Hundreds of thousands of them, all new windows.
Yeah, plumbing,
Yeah.
electrical.
I mean, that's up, like I said, that's up to the property owner, what they wanna do with it. Like I said, the code is on it, the RA is on it, that's all, we do everything that we
So what you're
can.
saying is, as of right now, it can only be a
It can be a single-family home or rent it out as a single-family home.
Right, but it can't be like 4 or 5.
Can't be a home.
No, it has to be a single family lived-in house.
I lied, single-family rented, lived-in house
So it
only.
would have to be the whole thing rented to a single
Not
family.
rented.
No, not rented, sorry, just lived in, it have to be
Right,
lived in.
so it can't be split up into units.
Correct.
As apartments.
That is correct.
Because when I lived in New Columbia in my apartment, my landlord had told me that I guess in the state of Pennsylvania, if you have an apartment building, you have to have a fire exit
Yeah,
for each individual
correct.
unit. And that building there,
And that's why,
there's one door in and whatever you want to
A
call
window
it,
out.
a door out the back,
Yeah.
and that's it.
yeah, so that's why it would have to stay as I said. But like I said, they're looking into it, that's all they can do at this point. And like I said, we're on them, but it's just, we're at the mercy of, the system, how we have to cross our Ts and dot our Is.
Right.
Any other public comment at this time? Please state your name.
Melissa Rouse with the Dana St. Community Library. Sorry. I just wanted to make an announcement that we do have a solar eclipse coming up Saturday, October 14th. So it is a Saturday. The last time we had a solar eclipse was during the school week, and the kids actually went out during school and actually had protective eyewear. The library got a grant. We have 250 pairs of eyewear that we will be passing out. We'll also be doing a program that day from 12 to 1 before the eclipse. The eclipse is from 1:17 to 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. So we have a Bloomsburg Children's Museum coming to help us, and also the Discovery Space Center. So the kids can actually do some activities before they go out. So if you're looking for something to do with your kids that day for solar eclipse, October 14th, 12 o'clock begins the programs, 1:17 is the eclipse.
Melissa, could you send that to Jeff? That way we can get it on our social media sites and,
Yep.
advertise more.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Please state your name.
Victoria Rosencrantz. Okay, while we're on the light poles, Jim, did those ones that were tagged last year, did K&N fix those that the electrical sockets weren't working? You know,
No, I don't know what coal or.
Steve, I think Steve had the list. I think there were like 5 because when we did the candy cane legs round, we had like 5 poles that were out, so.
Front Street.
Yeah, I think Steve has the list. Yeah. So that'd be great while you're doing that. Thank you, guys. Mr. Barnhart. Just questioning, I heard you say that you were short in the code office. I was just wondering when we were gonna have a new code supervisor?
I'm working on that.
When do you think the time frame?
I'm working on it, that's all. I can't give you a time frame. I'll let you know when I know. That's all I can say about it right now.
Do we have candidates?
I'm working on it. I'll let you know when I know. That's all I'm gonna say at this time.
Because there's a lot going on with code in our city, clearly the folks here. So how many staff do we have in the code office right now?
Three full-timers, two part-timers.
Yeah.
And how many are we supposed to have?
I don't know if there was a number.
So in the last meeting, I heard you say that you and Derek were gonna go out and do walk around. I'm just curious why Derek, as the city administrator, is doing walk arounds with code. So we're gonna go to no comment. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I answered you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment at this time? Please state your name, sir.
Slight track, I'm just letting you know that the wine and brew fest is happening down along the river this Saturday from 1 to 5.
Slade, the same thing, if you could get Jeff that info so we can post it on our social media to help. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other public comment at this time? Any other public comment? Please state your name.
Many people in the community are curious about why the Sunbury summer kickoff cannot proceed in years 1 and 4. Are you objecting to that as a council?
I mean, I personally like to see it continue, but, you know, as I said last week with the funds, it's up to council if they choose to use those funds to continue to help support it or not. Like I said, I'm in support, but like I said, it's up to what council chooses to see those funds be used for, so I can only speak for myself.
Okay, so for 2023, what funds were used for the kickoff?
It was economic development and marketing.
Ah, so that would be a good thing for the community, am I right?
In my opinion, yes.
Because there was a lot of good comments about this, the stroll, sandwich stroll, the kickoff, and I don't hear any appreciation from the rest of the council to have that yearly event, or even maybe 2 yearly events of such thing. Because events and venues that impose no or low vendor fees provide a low barrier entry point for small-scale producers and artisans to test, evaluate, and market their products. These environments encourage entrepreneurship and innovation, fostering the development and growth of new local businesses. There is opportunity to participate, have skill development, volunteering, social, cultural, economic, and environmental development. The economic impact of events like the 2023 Sunbury Summer Kickoff, Sandwich Stroll, and even the Arts and Curiosities Fest that we just had this past weekend injects additional monies into a defined area such as local businesses when staging such events. These events have a potential to create jobs, attract visitors, generates revenue, and promotes destination and enriches the community. Events and the attendees spend monies at the event and recognize and spend monies at community businesses. Per the Brookings Institute, making local economies prosperous and resilient state the case for a modern economic development administration. So, all of council, tell your constituents why Sunbury cannot continue with plans for events in 2024 and going forward for things like the summer kickoff. Thank you.
Well, Julie, one question. Last meeting we were here, we were discussing some of the other options, which I think you were in favor of getting some trees and so forth. So the money has to come somewhere.
Sure.
Now, we just sit
But
down as
that's
a council
grants.
and, pardon?
That's great. That would be the grants that we would have.
Okay. So.
And that would be a part of economic.
Development.
Correct.
Right. So we'll look around for the grants and see what grants we can find for trees, because I'm not against the kickoff party, because it did draw a lot of people.
Yes, it did.
Fun. And the problem is, how much money are we willing to give every year to fund that in the future?
How much money was given?
What was the numbers? I've never been through the numbers.
15,000, that's what we approved.
But actually, you spent like 19, right?
But after, as you said, all the bills and stuff were coming in and accounting, you wanna, because they have one numbers, I have another set of numbers that we brought in, they differ in somewhat, but.
I didn't see the numbers.
Yeah.
But I'll look the numbers up for the next meeting. Let's use the number 15,000 to 20. Are we gonna allocate that every year to spend? That's something we have to decide.
Do you want the downtown businesses to grow? That's like a
Now,
spotlight.
Julie, come on now. You know darn well we do.
Well, there's
Okay.
the opportunity.
Well, let's do it this way then. Let's spend 25,000, then we'll boom, and everybody's happy.
Heck yeah, I'll go for that.
No, I mean, I'm serious. Where's the breakout point?
Well,
What's your suggestion, being a resident?
15, 19,000? That's a drop in the bucket compared to what really goes on here in the city.
Okay, that's true, because we're over $4 million.
Correct.
But if you take the business that way, you might as well spend 20,000 on trees, 20,000 on this, and
But trees are a separate issue.
that's definitely true.
Yeah.
But don't you feel?
It comes from grants that we can apply for.
Okay, we'll look for the grants.
Yes, because the urban forester informs us about grants and so forth.
Oh,
And we have a potential for next fall for the Goodwill seems as though they are on board with that. It needs to be voted on. I'll obtain the letter and closer to the time to make sure that it's still being secured.
Okay.
But I think you all need to recognize that you can't wait until the last minute. It's the planning effect. You need to get your vendors in line. They need to plan where they're going to be in their events. So what,
I'd like to. But we gotta start, if we choose to go that option, we should have started planning now.
I thought we were.
No, I'm not talking about New Year's Eve, I'm talking about kickoff for next June, if we choose to go that route. But like I said, if we don't have the funds, you can't plan it. If we do have the funds, that's great. If we don't, well,
right, because
you're gonna save me a lot of time.
what is being heard by the community is that there's no interest by this council to have events like the Sunbury kickoff. And if that's true, that's not such a great thing on your behalf.
And anything else you have, sorry, I mean to cut you off there, but.
No, that's fine.
All right, thank you. Any other public comment at this time? Any other public comment at this time? All right, I adjourn this meeting.